The Origin of Camouflage by Cora's Own Unicorn. Way more intense than hide and seek. It had been a few months since Maud had met her pet rock, Boulder. She loved him as much as she did her sisters. Boulder was everything to her. The two of them were very, very close friends. The little grey filly was laying on the living room floor. Boulder laid right in front of her, facing her direction. She looked at her pet with great affection, blinking slowly while her expression remained blank.
"Hey Boulder,"
she began.
"can you do any tricks?"
The rock remained still, flat on the cold wooden floor. The pony took her right hoof, laying it under her pet, and flipping him to the left. A little thump sound happened as Boulder hit the ground. Suddenly, the living room was erupted with the sound of hoofs clopping. Maud looked up to see her best sister friend, Pinkie Pie, clopping her hoofs in a frantic manner, an impressed expression across her face.
"Ooh, that was an amazing trick, Boulder,"
Pinkie said, sliding over to him and her sister. A moment of silence filled the room, the pink filly just staring at the oval-shaped specimen.
"Why, you're very welcome."
Maud looked over to her sister, her blue eyes slowly shifting between Pinkie and her pet. She felt the urge to smile, but didn't.
"Pinkie and Boulder get along great,"
she thought. Both of the filly's ears perked up to the sound of hoofsteps coming down from the top of the stairs. The two sisters looked up to see a stallion with a muted yellow fur coat and a short, light and dark grey striped mane and tail, a straw of hay in his mouth, wearing a necktie and a hat. On his flank was a pickaxe for a cutie mark. He had a rough expression upon his face, staring at the two ponies sitting in the living room. "Maud," the stallion began with a rough, gravelly voice, "since your mother is out for the week, visiting your Nana Pie with marble and limestone, I need you to come with me to the market to sell some supplies."
"What about me, Dad?"
Pinkie asked, running up to her father, Igneous Rock Pie. Igneous's rough expression softened at the pink little filly. He gave her a hug while he answered, "No, Pinkamena, I need you to stay here and take care of the house." Pinkie's smile slowly faded, walking back towards the living room with her head down. Maud noticed immediately how sad her sister was. It hurt her to see her best friend down in the dumps. This gave her an idea.
"Hey Dad,"
she began in her usual monotone voice.
"since Pinkie can't come with us to the market."
Pinkie looked up at her older sister, curious to where this was going.
"Can you look after Boulder?"
she asked him, holding her pet in her hoof. Igneous looked at his eldest daughter's pet, then looked over to Pinkamena, whom was now wearing an excited expression across her face. She wore a smile that went all the way up to her cheekbones, her pupils twinkling in the light of the room. He looked at Pinkamena, giving her a sly smile before answering, "I think that's a marvelous idea, Maud." Pinkie Pie shrieked, running over to her big sister. She embraced her tightly, almost squeezing her to death. Maud's facial expression, however, never changing. Igneous and Maud were next to the front door, telling Pinkie what to do and what not to do while home alone. Though she had stayed at home alone plenty of times before, Igneous always made sure to tell her the rights and wrongs.
"Now Pinkie, make sure you take good care of Boulder,"
Maud told her sister.
"I know you love him as much as I do, but make sure nothing happens to him."
"Don't worry, Maud.
The little pink filly said gleefully.
I'll keep a very close eye on him."
Maud stared at her sister before blinking slowly. A little smile spread across her face as she went to give her a hug goodbye. Maud went out the front door soon after, trotting alongside her father. Pinkie Pie waved goodbye until they were out of sight. She put her hoof to the doorknob, closing the door. She looked at Boulder, whom was in her other hoof. The filly gave the rock a reassuring look.
"Oh, don't worry, Boulder. Mom and Dad will be back soon,
she said, giving him a hoof rub.
Hey, in the meantime, let's do something fun.
Pinkie Pie stared at the rock for a few moments before shrieking.
I knew that would cheer you up.
Pinkie and Boulder had spent their time doing all sorts of activities, most of them being fun little games. The first game being Go Fish, to which Boulder won multiple games of. The next game they had been playing had been Tic-Tac-Toe, which Pinkie had won countless times. The two of them were having a blast. They had stopped playing for a while to have a little snack. Pinkie Pie had a daisy salad sandwich, while she fed Boulder some crackers. They ate for a good 5 minutes before going back to their activities.
Hey, Boulder, I have a fun game we can play. Want to know what it is?
Silence filled the room for a few moments.
I think it would be a great idea to play hide and seek out in the front yard,
She said, giggling.
What do you think?
Another silence filled the room.
Great!
The pink filly took the rock in her hoof and headed towards the front yard at top speed, hopping on the rough, gravelly dirt, her hair bouncing along as well. She stopped by a tree in her front yard.
All right, Boulder.
She said.
I'll hide first and you come find me. Oh, and make sure you count to 10.
She then set the little rock down on the ground while she went and hid behind the tree. She waited for a minute or two before popping her head out from behind the tree. She gasped, staring at the rock, holding him in her hoof.
How did you find me so fast?
Boulder remained silent.
Anyway, since you found me, it's my turn to find you.
Pinkie Pie then tossed him all the way over to a pile of rocks away from the tree. She turned around, pressing her arms against her face, counting to 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come.
The little pink pony trotted over towards the pile of rocks, looking from both sides, trying to spot her sister's pet. As she reached the little pile of rocks, her face began to gleam, for she was about to find him with her first try. However, the gleam on her face was soon taken over by worry and hesitation, due to the fact that she wasn't sure which one of those rocks in the pile was Boulder. She soon began to panic.
Boulder! Boulder, where are you? Oh, where did you go?
Her thoughts were soon interrupted by the sound of hoofsteps coming towards the farm. She turned her head to see her father and Maud returning from the market. Pinkie was panicking even more.
Oh no, here comes Maud. Oh, if she finds out that I lost Boulder, she'll never trust me again. I need to think of something quick.
The all-around pink pony trotted towards her father and sister, while trying to keep a calm, non-suspicious demeanor.
Hi, Maud. Hi, Dad.
She greeted.
How was your trip to the market?
Oh, Pinkemina, it was just fine, her father responded. He then turned over to Maud. Maud, why don't you spend some time with your sister and your pet, while I go and put all this stuff away? The grey pony just blinked at her father, clearly telling him that that sounded like a good idea. Igneous then took the bag she was carrying in her mouth, going inside into the house. The two sisters watched until the door shut closed. Maud then looked over to her sister before speaking.
So, how was Boulder? Did he behave himself?
She asked, her voice still as monotone as ever.
Oh, Boulder was great, and we had a lot of fun. We played some Go Fish, and then a few games of Tic-Tac-Toe, and then had a little snack afterwards.
Maud's expression remained blank. She blinked slowly.
Well, I'm happy that you two had fun. Where is he anyway?
Pinkie's heart nearly sunk when her best friend asked a question.
Quick, Pinkie, make up some sort of excuse. Oh, well, after we ate, we decided to play a game here in the front yard.
Oh really? What game?
Pinkie's eyes widened.
It's a new game I just came up with called Camouflage. Yeah, that's it, Camouflage. It's kind of like hide and seek, but way more intense.
She explained. Maud's expression changed ever so slightly as she listened to her sister explain this new game that she came up with. She was intrigued.
I was about to go and find him when I heard you and Dad coming from the market.
Well, she was telling half of the truth.
Why don't we find him together?
Maud asked. The grey filly took her little sister's hoof in hers and walked towards the pile of rocks Pinkie said to have been concluded where her pet would be. As the two fillies reached the little pile, Pinkie began to panic inside some more.
Oh, what if she doesn't know which one is Boulder either? What if we never find him? What if—
Found him,
Maud said, suddenly breaking Pinkie Pie out of her thoughts. She looked over to see Maud actually holding Boulder in her hoof. Her mouth hung open at the sides before her.
Wow, Maud, you're good!
I like this game, she told Pinkie. You're right, it is way more intense, she said, her eyes widening as she insinuated the word way. I think it's my new favourite, and it's my favourite for one special reason. Pinkie tilted her head, curious.
Oh, and what's that?
Maud then gave her a great big smile, a smile that reached her cheekbones.
because my best friend came up with it.
Pinkie Pie had tears well up into her eyes as she embraced her sister in a great big hug.
And Boulder's been by my side ever since.
Wow, what a surprisingly suspenseful and compelling story. I completely get what you see in him now.